All right, Jordan. It's that time of the week again. NC State game, Clemson, South Carolina, 12 p.m. kickoff, at noon kickoff, early game, pick against the spread, score prediction. We're going to do it all right here, right now. Like I said before, the spread started out at 16.5. It is now up to 20.5. So Clemson minus 20.5. And then I think what was the over under? Let me look it up real
I
quick.
think it's like 48.5. It's a pretty low total.
46.5 is the over under. That's the point total. So 46.5. So thoughts on the spread? And you can do your score prediction at the same time, however you want to roll with it. But I'll throw it to you first.
Yeah. Again, this is going to be a test for this team to see whether that App State game was just kind of a really nice aberration or a reflection of things to come. Not necessarily like 66 points and 56.5 type of performance, but being able to put it on Power 5 defenses. That have talent. Like it's not like you're playing Charleston Southern. Like being able to score consistently and create explosive plays against competent defenses. So I definitely don't expect I definitely don't expect an App State performance, but I do think that you will have an opportunity because I don't think this NC State defense is quite as good as some of the ones they've had in years past. I think there will be plays to be had, but I'm going to be kind of conservative. I don't think that they're going to lay it on them like put up like 45 points.
Yeah,
I think 35 is right at that number. I think that's a good place because I don't expect them to generate a ton of offense. I think you'll get opportunities. So I'm feeling sort of a 35-17 type of game. You're laughing. I have a feeling I know why. I feel like we might be on the same page.
What does that say?
Wow. 35-17 Clemson. Yep.
35-17 Clemson.
So
yeah, you hit it right on the head. 35-17 Clemson. I'm gonna take North Carolina State in the points.
Yeah. I do think 20.5 is a lot to take.
And I know North Carolina State's been bad this year. They haven't been particularly productive on offense. Clemson's got a really good defense. But again, 20.5 points for a conference game is a lot of points. I don't really care who you're playing. That's a ton of points. A little too much for me. I went with the same score prediction as you.
It's a rivalry,
it's a rivalry. There's some, I don't know if it's bad blood, but there's a certain level of animosity between Dabo Swinney and Dave Dorn. There's no love lost there. So those two guys really don't, get along particularly well. So they're, NC State will definitely be ready to play. I just don't see us getting to that 20.5 number. We'll get close. I got 18 points is the spread in my score prediction. So I'm with you, 35-17. That kind of feels like how this game is going to go. Our offense will play pretty well and have its moments. And I do think their freshman quarterback is gonna give Clemson's defense some fits at points in time in this game, particularly with his feet. I see him breaking contain and keeping NC State on the field when they should be getting off the field with his legs. So, yeah, that's where I got it, 35-17, but I'm taking North Carolina State and the points Clemson will not cover.
Yep, you and I are on the same page. I can't fully buy in on this offense. Just haven't completely figured it out. This is while I don't think this NC State defense is great, I do think schematically they do present some challenges, and Cade historically has not played well against these types of defenses. So I think he'll play better. And I think that you'll see a heavy dose of Phil Mafah, but
I hope so.
I do think that NC State will get some stops, and that just prevents me from really buying in on them just kind of laying it on them like Tennessee did. I don't see that.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling 35-17. And again, you and I both agree that potentially the start of CJ Bailey starting might actually be a better thing for NC State than if Grayson McCall went out there. Because honestly, if Grayson McCall was going out there, my score prediction might be a little bit different.
I'll be honest. I'd probably take the 20. It sounds crazy, but I'd probably take the 20.5.
Yeah.
I'd probably pick Clemson to cover the spread if Grayson McCall was playing. And I know that sounds crazy. And at the beginning of the season, I would not have said anything like that. But just seeing how he played through 3 weeks,
awful, man.
and
like one of the worst quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah, one of the worst, like down in the hundreds in QB in total QBR.
Yeah.
And two of those teams that you played are not very good football teams.
No.
Like, let's just be honest. Tennessee's a really good team. I'll give you that. They smacked you, and we got smacked by Georgia too. So no harm, no foul there. But how they looked against Western Carolina and La Tech, I mean, that's crazy. That's not good. So I am of the opinion that it works against Clemson and works in NC State's favor that Bailey will be starting on Saturday. I think he's going to cause some issues for this defense.
Yep. I think so too. He is a talent, and I think he'll probably be a force to be reckoned with when he gets some, especially when he kind of grows into his body. Again, he's 6'6". He's like 210, and I question whether he's even that much, honestly. So really wiry, kind of like what Trevor Lawrence was coming in.
Yeah.
But he looks even honestly, he looks even thinner. So I again, that why it's even more important why you get pressure and get to, and not just get pressure, but get to him. Because and make the tackle. Make the tackle.
Yeah, don't let him slip out and then go run for freaking 20 yards or run for 20 yards when it's 3rd and 15 and you're supposed to be getting off the field, and you bring the pressure and then he breaks contain and suddenly they got a fresh set of downs. Because that's where the frustration sets in for the defense. So you got to keep contained on that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think we 35-17. I feel like that's the first time we predicted the exact same score before. I don't know if that's a first.
Not this season. Not this season.
Yeah, definitely not this season. But I'm just trying to remember. Probably I would remember every single game preview.
Yeah, we've probably done it in the past, but not too often. Not too often do we have the exact same score prediction. I just had to show that I already had it written down in my notebook, so people don't think we're cheating. It was in there. It was in there. 35.
We don't discuss these beforehand. So
no. But yeah, we see eye to eye there. We got 40 people in the live chat right now. We got one more segment, guys, and then we're turning it over to the comment section. We're going to do BYOG or sell. You can get some of your comments in on the BYOG or sell. We might read a couple of them. But Jordan, I will start off. Hold on. Let me get my banner. Oh, Lord. I'm a professional, guys. Don't worry about it. I promise. I know what I'm doing. All right, guys. BYOG or sell. I will start the night off with my very own BYOG or sell. This dates back all the way to last year, Jordan. BYOG or sell. Will Clemson finally go through a game without a turnover?
Man, they're due for a turnoverless game.
It has now been, let's see, 13 games last season. It's been 15 games.
15. Yep.
It's been 15 games since Clemson has not turned the ball over in a game.
Well, and actually, when you think about it, it's been 16. Because if you include the Orange Bowl,
the Orange Bowl against Tennessee, so 16 games. It's been 16 games, stretching over
We
three separate.
didn't turn the ball over against North Carolina in the ACC championship, did we?
No, we didn't.
I don't think we did. Yeah.
No. So stretching over 3 seasons and 16 games, Clemson has turned the ball over for 16 straight contests. So BYOG or sell, Clemson gets out of Death Valley on Saturday without a single offensive turnover.
I gotta sell. I just they're due, but like, man, until they actually do it, it's like I'm expecting some BS. Like even against App State, it was a fumble and a punt return. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I gotta sell, but I don't think it'll be a catastrophic turnover like the ones we saw last year. I think it could be just a fumble or a special teams mistake or something.
Yeah, like it was last week. We almost got out of there last
interception, like just taking a shot.
Right, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to sell, and the reason being is kind of the way that North Carolina State plays. I could see Cade maybe trying to force one.
Yep.
And them dropping back into coverage and just snagging one. I could definitely see that happening. Just him trying to force something, make something happen, and they get an interception. So I got to sell, but eventually, I hope one game this year will break the now 16 game streak that is our turnover woes. The turnover woes of the Clemson Tigers, 16 games.
Yep. All right. BYOG or sell. Clemson hits 175 rushing yards as a team.
Ooh. That's a lot of rushing yards.
It is a lot.
I'm going to buy. I think Clemson could run as much as they want to in this game. And I could see Phil breaking off a couple big ones. Jay Haynes as well, using his speed to get on the outside. I will buy, but it's going to be close, I think.
I am. Oh. You see, I didn't even have my answer when I said this, so I'm still thinking about it.
You got to run through it. Yeah, no, I get you.
I'm gonna sell because 175 is a lot, but I do think that I think 150 is that target. I feel like you should feel pretty good about if Clemson hits 150 rushing yards. I think you should feel good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 175 it is.
It is a lot. It is a lot. Reluctantly,
they are going to want to throw the ball, so I'm just like,
I'm banking on like for that 175. Like I'm banking on a couple big runs in there.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I'm gonna buy. All right, I got one for you, centered around the running game as well. I'm gonna steal this from one of the people in our comments section. It was way up at the top at the beginning of the show, but Tiggs got in there and was like, BYOG or sell. Phil Maffa goes over 100 yards against NC State.
BYOG. I like it. I think this is a
I think this is a big day for Phil. This is one of them contests where he can that O-line can kind of lean on that defensive line and Phil can go to work. I'm BYOG on that as well.
All right. BYOG or sell. Clemson gets 3 or more sacks. Oh my God! As soon as I say that, David Wood.
Yo, that's crazy.
David, get out of my head, bro.
Yo.
I was literally thinking.
Is that your burner account?
We talk all about sacks, and I was like 3 or more sacks.
Is David Wood? Is that your burner account, Jordan?
Yeah, he must be. Yeah, I don't know. Get out of my head, David. I don't like that.
3 or more sacks. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna buy. I think Clemson will turn up the heat on the young quarterback to try to kind of get in his head, intimidate him a little bit, throw him off his game, make him feel uncomfortable, make him feel unsure back there. I think Clemson will turn up the heat on him and try to get him on the ground early in this game. So I'll buy. I think we get 3 sacks.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think this is it's a big opportunity because this defense hasn't really had a chance to get after it. They didn't sack Joey Aguilar last week. They didn't sack. Well, they sacked Carson Beck once. So it's going to be a good opportunity for them, I think.
Yeah, I heard Wes Goodwin talk about their drop back rate or their drop back time for App State, and he was like it was like 1.2 seconds, and they got rid of the ball.
Yeah, they schemed around.
They were like, you are not about to kill our quarterback. This is not happening. You got 1 second and throw the ball. If it ain't there, just throw it.
That really is what they did. I mean, they did a lot of heavy play action sets,
right?
And a lot of two route. Sometimes they were doing 2 route combos just to make sure they had blockers,
right?
And give Joey just that extra split second of time to throw.
Yeah.
So I think that's something you're going to see from a lot of teams. That's just unfortunately the reality. When you have as good of a defensive line as you do, teams are going to do. They're going to commit. They're going to overcommit resources to make sure you're not tearing them apart up front. So, I think you'll see a little bit of that from NC State, but I think that young quarterback on the road, he's not going to be as quick to get the ball out and quick with his reads and his eyes as say a Joey Aguilar who's played a lot of football at the JUCO level and then came up to App State. So I do think that this is going to be a different test for him.
Yeah, for sure. Complete different deal than playing La Tech in the second half last week. This defense is going to be for real. They're going to come after him. And our secondary is not, is no slouch either. So,
and honestly, I think you might be. I think you're playing a worse offensive line than you did against App State.
That's how they've looked so far this season. Yeah, probably. That's crazy to say, but
yeah.
It kind of is what it is at this point.